In a distant galaxy, far from Earth, there was a powerful alien empire. This empire controlled many worlds and ruled with an iron fist. They were strong and feared, but they did not know much about Earth. To them, it was just a small blue planet filled with weak humans. The empire believed that invading Earth would be easy and that they could crush the humans without any trouble. On Earth, however, things were different. People were worried about the approaching alien fleet. The news spread quickly. The Galactic Empire was coming to invade. Panic swept through cities as families prepared for the worst. Some believed they should fight, while others thought it would be better to surrender. But not everyone was afraid. In a secret bunker hidden deep underground, the best military leaders of Earth gathered. They were determined to protect their planet. Among them was General Sarah Thompson, a strong and wise leader who had fought in many battles. She stood at the head of the table, looking at the faces of her team. They all knew the danger ahead. "Listen up," General Thompson said, her voice steady and strong. "The alien fleet is on its way. We cannot let them take our home. We have a hidden fleet, the one our ancestors built long ago. It is time to revive it and show the Empire what humans can do." Excitement filled the room. The leaders began discussing plans. They talked about the old ships that had been kept secret for centuries, hidden away from the eyes of the Empire. The ships were powerful and armed with advanced technology. They had been forgotten by many, but now they were humanity's only hope. Meanwhile, in space, the alien fleet was making its way toward Earth. Their ships were massive and intimidating, with dark armor and deadly weapons. The alien commander, a ruthless being named Commander Zarnak, looked at the view screen, watching the stars blur as they traveled. He was confident that this mission would be a walk in the park. "Prepare the fleet," Zarnak ordered with a sneer. "In just a few hours, we will take this planet and show those humans who is in charge." His crew cheered, filled with excitement at the thought of an easy victory. Back on Earth, General Thompson and her team worked day and night to prepare for the upcoming battle. They contacted scientists and engineers, asking them to bring the old fleet back to life. Every moment was filled with tension and determination. The general knew that they had to act fast. As the hours passed, the alien fleet drew closer. The leaders of Earth held their breath, knowing that they were running out of time. Finally, the day came. The hidden fleet was ready. General Thompson stood on the bridge of the command ship, her heart pounding with pride and fear. "Today is the day we fight back," she said, her voice echoing through the ship. "We are no longer the weak humans they think we are. We will show the Empire the strength of our spirit." The crew cheered, their faces filled with hope. The fleet, consisting of ships of all sizes, glimmered in the light of distant stars. They were a mix of old and new, with advanced technology that had been kept hidden. The humans had been preparing for this moment for generations, and now it was finally here. As the fleet took off, General Thompson watched the view outside. She felt a sense of determination wash over her. This was not just a fight for survival, it was a fight for their home, for their families, and for their future. They were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Suddenly, alarms blared, and the crew looked at the view screen in shock. The alien fleet was now in sight. Massive ships lined up against the dark backdrop of space, ready to invade. The humans had only moments before the battle began. General Thompson took a deep breath. "Steady! Remember our training. We fight for Earth," she shouted, her voice filled with courage. As the fleets faced each other, the tension in the air was palpable. Humanity's hidden fleet was ready to enter the fight, and victory was within reach. The storm was coming, and humanity would not back down. As the alien fleet approached Earth, the tension among the human forces grew stronger. In the hidden command ship, General Sarah Thompson stood at the bridge, her eyes fixed on the view screen. The massive shapes of the alien ships loomed closer, dark and intimidating against the starry background. But the general felt a spark of hope within her. It was time for humanity to show its strength. "Prepare the fleet for battle," she ordered, her voice echoing through the ship. The crew sprang into action, each member knowing their role. They had trained hard for this moment, and now it was time to put their plans into action. Meanwhile, in the alien command ship, Commander Zarnak paced back and forth, a look of confidence on his face. He believed this battle would be an easy victory. "Send in the scouts to gather information on Earth's defenses," he commanded. "We must show no mercy." As the scouts flew ahead to survey Earth's defenses, General Thompson and her team gathered in the strategy room. They examined the latest intelligence from their rebel allies, who had provided vital information about the alien fleet's tactics. The humans were learning fast, adapting their strategies to counter the enemy's strengths. "We need to strike first," suggested Commander Michael Reyes, a skilled tactician. "If we can surprise them, we may gain the upper hand." General Thompson nodded. "Agreed. Let's split our fleet into two groups. One will engage the enemy head-on while the other will attack from the flank. We'll confuse them and take advantage of their overconfidence." The team quickly put the plan into action. Ships were divided into groups, ready to move into position. The hidden fleet, once dormant for centuries, was now alive and eager to fight. The crew felt a wave of excitement and determination. They were ready to defend their home. As the alien fleet came into range, the human ships powered up their weapons. Bright lights flickered to life, illuminating the dark space around them. General Thompson took a deep breath, feeling the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. This battle would decide the fate of Earth. "Engage!" she commanded, and the human fleet surged forward. The air buzzed with energy as the ships sped into action, their engines roaring with power. The first clash was fierce. The humans attacked with precision, targeting the alien ships' weak points as they had learned from their allies. Bright flashes of energy lit up the darkness of space as laser beams shot through the air. Alien ships began to explode, their debris scattering like stars. However, the alien commander quickly adapted to the situation. "They are attacking with unexpected skill," Zarnak shouted, his face turning red with anger. "Reinforce our front lines and prepare to retaliate." The alien ships organized their defenses, but the humans had already gained momentum. General Thompson watched the battle unfold, her heart racing with excitement. "Keep pushing forward!" she shouted to her crew. "We can do this." Just as the humans thought they had the upper hand, an alien ship released a powerful shockwave, knocking several human ships off course. The crew struggled to regain control. General Thompson's eyes widened as she realized the tide of battle could change at any moment. "Rally our forces!" she ordered, refusing to back down. "We cannot let them gain the advantage." With renewed determination, the humans regrouped, their spirits lifted by the thought of their loved ones back on Earth. They fought harder, remembering why they were here. The ancient fleet was no longer just a relic, it was a symbol of hope. Suddenly, a signal appeared on the view screen. It was their rebel allies joining the fight. A group of agile ships flew in from the side, launching surprise attacks on the alien forces. The two fleets worked together, coordinating their movements and strategies. General Thompson felt a surge of joy as she saw the rebel ships engaging the enemy. "This is it! Together we can win this battle!" she shouted. With a united front, the humans and their allies pressed on, pushing the alien fleet back. The tide was turning. The once confident Commander Zarnak watched in disbelief as his ships fell one by one. As the battle raged, the humans had awakened their true potential. They were no longer the weak targets the aliens thought they were. The storm was not just brewing, it was now raging, and humanity was ready to face it head-on. The battle for Earth had begun, and the vastness of space was alive with energy. Ships flew in formation, their weapons primed and ready. General Sarah Thompson stood on the command bridge, her heart pounding with excitement and fear. She looked out at the swirling chaos, where beams of light flashed like fireworks. This was the moment humanity had prepared for, and there was no turning back now. "Report!" she commanded, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. A young officer quickly turned to her, his face serious. "The alien fleet is regrouping, General," he said. "They are beginning to counterattack. But our allied ships have joined us, and we are holding our ground." "Good," she replied, nodding. "We need to keep the pressure on them. They won't expect us to fight back this hard." As the human ships advanced, bright blasts of energy erupted from their weapons, striking the alien ships. The once strong aliens now faced a fierce and determined enemy. Many of their ships were caught off guard, and explosions lit up the dark canvas of space. General Thompson felt a rush of pride as she watched her crew perform flawlessly, working together like a well-oiled machine. But just as victory seemed within reach, a new challenge arose. The alien commander, Zarnak, was not going to give up easily. His eyes blazed with fury as he observed the battle from his flagship. "They think they can defeat us so easily!" he roared. "Send in the elite fighters! Show them the true power of the Galactic Empire!" Zarnak's orders echoed through the alien fleet. Small, fast ships zoomed forward, ready to unleash chaos on the humans. The new fighters darted through the battlefield like angry hornets, evading shots and launching their own attacks. General Thompson watched in alarm as the alien fighters engaged her ships, causing damage and disarray. "Deploy our fighters!" she commanded. "We need to defend our flanks and protect the main fleet." The human fighter pilots took to the skies, maneuvering their ships with skill and bravery. They zipped through the chaos, dodging enemy fire and targeting the alien fighters. The sky lit up with streaks of light as ships danced around each other, engaging in fierce dogfights. In one of the smaller human ships, pilot Alex Chen focused on his controls, sweat beading on his forehead. He had trained for this moment his whole life. "I've got one on my tail," he shouted over the comms. "I need backup." Nearby, pilot Maria Gonzalez heard his call. "I'm on it, Alex," she responded, her voice filled with determination. She swooped in, her ship gliding like a bird, and fired her weapons at the alien fighter. The enemy ship exploded, sending debris flying in all directions. "Nice shot," Alex cheered. "Let's keep moving!" The two pilots worked seamlessly together, taking down enemy ships one by one. But despite their success, the battle was still intense. The alien fighters were relentless, and the human fleet faced heavy fire. Some ships were struck, their lights flickering as they struggled to stay operational. Back on the command bridge, General Thompson's heart sank as she watched a large human ship take a direct hit. "Status report," she shouted. "Critical damage to the starboard side, General," an officer replied, panic rising in his voice. "We're losing power! Redirect power from non-essential systems," she ordered. "Get them back in the fight." The human fleet pressed on, refusing to back down. They fought with courage, knowing that the fate of their planet was at stake. Zarnak's elite fighters were fierce, but the humans had something stronger, their determination and unity. As the battle raged, General Thompson made a bold decision. "All ships, listen up! We need to take down Zarnak's flagship if we want to end this fight." The crew rallied behind her, fueled by her words. They set their sights on the massive alien ship, knowing it was the heart of the enemy fleet. "On my mark," she said, her voice steady. 3, 2, 1, now! With a unified attack, the human fleet launched everything they had at Zarnak's flagship. Beams of light and missiles hurtled through space, striking the massive ship. The flagship shook under the force of the attack, and Zarnak's expression twisted with disbelief. "No! This cannot be happening!" he shouted, his voice filled with rage. The tide of battle was turning. The human fleet had shown their strength, and victory was becoming a reality. But the fight was far from over. With determination in their hearts, they continued to push forward, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The battle raged on, and the air was thick with tension. General Sarah Thompson stood resolute on the command bridge, her eyes fixed on the view screen as her fleet pressed forward against the relentless alien forces. The humans had fought bravely, but the cost was high. The sight of damaged ships and wounded crew members weighed heavily on her heart. "Status report!" she called out, her voice echoing through the bridge. 17 ships damaged, General, and several crew members are injured," replied Lieutenant Smith, his voice shaky but determined. "But we're still in the fight!" General Thompson took a deep breath, steeling herself. "We have to find a way to turn this around." "We can't let them win!" She glanced at the view screen, where the alien flagship loomed large. If they could take it down, it might break the will of the enemy. Suddenly, a loud alarm rang through the ship, and the lights dimmed. "General, we're under heavy fire!" shouted a crew member. "They're targeting our engines! Divert power to shields!" Thompson ordered, her voice sharp. "We need to hold on!" Outside the ship, the human fleet was facing wave after wave of alien fighters. The elite squadron led by Commander Zarnak was fierce, launching relentless attacks. The humans fought back valiantly, but it was becoming clear that they needed a new strategy. In the heat of battle, pilot Alex Chen and pilot Maria Gonzalez flew side by side, dodging enemy fire as they engaged an alien fighter. "We need to break through their lines and hit the flagship," Alex shouted, his fingers flying over the controls. "I agree," Maria replied, her focus unwavering. "If we can distract them, the others can focus on Zarnak's ship." With a shared nod, the two pilots raced toward the heart of the alien fleet. As they engaged enemy fighters, they quickly noticed a gap in the alien lines. "There," Alex shouted, pointing ahead. "Let's go!" Together, they dove through the gap, their ships zipping past enemy vessels. The pilots felt a surge of hope as they pressed on, determined to reach the flagship. Back on the command bridge, General Thompson watched the brave pilots through the view screen. "They're breaking through!" she exclaimed. "Now's our chance! All ships follow their lead! Target the flagship!" The human fleet rallied, charging forward with renewed energy. As they approached the alien flagship, they unleashed a torrent of firepower. Beams of energy and missiles erupted from their ships, striking the massive vessel. Commander Zarnak, watching from his command center, felt panic rising within him. "Reinforcements! We need reinforcements now!" he barked, his voice rising with anger. "Don't let them breach our defenses!" But it was too late. The human ships were coordinated and relentless, pressing the attack. General Thompson's heart raced as she realized the tide was finally turning in their favor. "Pilot Chen Gonzalez, you're clear to attack the flagship," she ordered over the comms. "Take out its defenses." Alex and Maria nodded, adrenaline pumping through their veins. They flew in formation, dodging enemy fire as they approached the flagship. "Ready?" Alex asked, his heart pounding. "Let's do this!" Maria replied, determination in her voice. The two pilots unleashed their weapons, striking the flagship's weak points. The explosions rocked the massive ship, sending shockwaves through the battlefield. Zarnak's forces struggled to regain control as panic spread among them. "Focus fire on their weapon systems," General Thompson commanded. "We can't let them retaliate." With the alien flagship under heavy attack, the morale of the human fleet soared. The crews fought harder, feeling the shift in the battle. Slowly but surely, the aliens began to falter. Back on the flagship, Zarnak could feel his grip on the situation slipping. "Fall back!" he shouted, his voice trembling. "We must regroup!" But as the alien ships tried to retreat, the human fleet pressed on, exploiting the opening. The tide was truly turning, and victory felt closer than ever. With one final surge, the human pilots launched a massive coordinated attack, focusing everything they had on the flagship. Beams of light erupted, striking the ship from all sides. Zarnak's flagship shuddered and groaned under the assault. In that moment, a loud explosion rocked the view screen, and the flagship erupted in a brilliant blaze of light. General Thompson watched in awe as the alien flagship disintegrated, scattering debris across the battlefield. Cheers erupted from the crew, and a wave of relief washed over General Thompson. "We did it!" she shouted, her voice filled with pride. "This battle is ours!" With the loss of their flagship, the alien forces began to panic and scatter. The human fleet had turned the tide, and victory was finally within their grasp. The fight was far from over, but for the first time, humanity felt they had a chance to reclaim their home. The battle raged on, but the atmosphere had changed. General Sarah Thompson stood on the command bridge, her heart pounding with a mix of excitement and disbelief. The loss of the alien flagship had sent shockwaves through the enemy fleet. Around her, crew members cheered and high-fived, their faces filled with renewed hope. "General, the enemy is in full retreat," Lieutenant Smith announced, his voice echoing through the bridge. "They're breaking formation and pulling back. Keep the pressure on them," General Thompson commanded, a fierce determination in her eyes. "Don't let them regroup. We must secure our victory." Outside, the human fleet surged forward, pressing against the remnants of the alien forces. The skies were filled with the sounds of battle, the hum of engines, the crackle of energy weapons, and the distant explosions of enemy ships falling. The sight of alien vessels fleeing was a sight they had longed for. Pilot Alex Chen and pilot Maria Gonzalez soared through the chaos, their ships weaving and darting among the fleeing aliens. "Can you believe this?" Alex shouted over the comms, a grin plastered on his face. "We might actually win this!" Maria laughed, exhilarated. "Let's make sure they remember this day. Keep chasing them." They pursued the alien fighters, taking out stragglers one by one. With their confidence high and teamwork flawless, they felt invincible. Every enemy ship they downed felt like another step toward freedom. Back on the command bridge, General Thompson studied the view screen intently. The retreating aliens were desperate, and she knew this was their moment to strike. "Lieutenant, reroute some of our ships to flank them from the other side." "We can trap them!" "Yes, General," Smith replied, quickly relaying orders to the fleet. As the human ships moved into position, the atmosphere grew charged with excitement. The sight of the alien forces scattered and panicking ignited a fire in the hearts of the human pilots. They were fighting for their home, their families, and their future. Suddenly, a voice broke through the comms, filled with urgency. "General, we've detected a large ship approaching from the rear. It's an alien battleship, and it's heading right for us." General Thompson's heart sank. "Can we intercept it?" "Not in time, ma'am. It's moving too fast." The officer's voice was tense. "Then we need to prepare for it," she ordered, adrenaline surging through her veins. "All ships, brace for impact." As the alien battleship surged forward, the human fleet quickly adjusted, forming a defensive perimeter. They knew they had to face this threat head-on to secure their victory. "Alex, Maria, you need to break off and take down that battleship," General Thompson commanded through the comms. "It's our only chance." "We're on it," Alex replied, determination flooding his voice. "Let's show them what we're made of." The two pilots turned their ships, racing toward the incoming battleship. They flew together, expertly dodging enemy fire as they closed in on the massive vessel. "Target its weapon systems," Maria shouted, her fingers dancing over the controls. "We need to disable it." They unleashed a barrage of fire, striking the battleship with all their might. Explosions rocked the giant ship as its defenses crumbled. But the alien vessel fought back fiercely, returning fire with devastating blasts. "Watch out!" Alex yelled, pulling his ship into a sharp dive. A beam of energy narrowly missed him, striking the ship behind him and causing it to explode in a shower of sparks. With adrenaline coursing through their veins, the two pilots pressed on, determined to finish what they started. They flew closer, targeting the weak points of the battleship. Suddenly, a message crackled over the comms. "General, we've secured the perimeter. The remaining alien ships are retreating." A wave of relief washed over General Thompson. "Great work, everyone. Now let's focus on that battleship. Finish it!" With a united effort, the human fleet concentrated their fire on the alien battleship. Beams of energy pierced through the darkness, striking the ship with unrelenting force. "Now, let's take it down!" Alex shouted, his eyes locked on the battleship's main weapon system. They unleashed a final powerful attack, and with a blinding explosion, the alien battleship crumbled and fell silent. Cheers erupted across the human fleet as victory was declared. General Thompson felt a surge of pride and relief wash over her. They had done it! They had fought against impossible odds and emerged victorious. "Today, we have shown the galaxy that humanity will not be underestimated," she proclaimed, her voice strong and filled with emotion. "We will protect our home no matter the cost." As the human fleet celebrated their hard-earned victory, they knew that this was just the beginning. They had proven their strength, and the galaxy would never forget the day humanity fought back and triumphed.